Decide to go look for it, while Johnson stays behind to watch the road. All the zombies are sleeping in the streets at this.
Ooh.
accidentally bump into a zombie, alerting it, and it starts chasing them. Johnson sees them from above and quickly tries to warn them. Tori manages to save them just in time, killing the zombie with the axe she has. The disaster is that as soon as they turn on the spotlight, it plays very loud music, attracting all the zombies to its location. Victor quickly stops the music, grabs them, and they escape before the zombies overrun the place. With no other option, they climb on top of the truck and wait for any chance to escape. Johnson starts throwing pieces of meat out the window to distract the monsters. Naturally, this isn't enough to keep all the zombies away from them until he gets a much better idea. He turns on a remote-controlled car that makes a loud noise. The zombies start chasing it in the opposite direction, moving completely away from the truck. In moments, the car starts losing power and stops. The zombies change direction again and try to return to the truck. Tori and the men with her run to hide inside a car, seeing zombies everywhere around them. Johnson blows up the car, causing an even louder noise than before, and the zombies start scattering in multiple directions. Tom and his friends seize the opportunity and try to escape. They sit among some zombies, trying to get rid of them in any way possible to save their lives. They finally hide inside a large bus and lock the door. The only one who manages to escape and reach the restaurant is Victor. Johnson is furious with him because he left his friends and returned without them. A huge fight breaks out between them, and they challenge each other. Victor threatens to throw him outside among the zombies to finish him off. At the same time, Tom and Tori argue in the bus, each blaming the other for their situation. A zombie suddenly appears from under the seat and bites his leg. Tori tries to quickly save him and kills the monster with her weapon. She is terrified, thinking Tom might be infected on return too. She is forced to grab the bitten finger and quickly cut it off before the infection spreads. As soon as another zombie appears in front of her, she throws the finger at it, trying to distract it a bit until she shoots it. At this moment, a military rescue team arrives and starts killing all the zombies around the bus. Tom gets out of the bus when things calm down and tries to ask them who the other survivors are. Surprisingly, the officer hits him in the head with his weapon and he faints. They use a specific device to ensure Tom and Tori are not infected. Commander Ramsey orders them to reveal the location of the other survivors. They take the soldiers to the restaurant, deciding to spend the night there since it's a safe place. They start searching the entire building to ensure there are no zombies inside. They kill all the zombies Tom had previously locked up. We are introduced to Sandy, Ramsey's daughter, as well as the team's doctor, who tries to treat Tom's injury. She advises him to cut back on his drinking and explains that they are heading to Lake Tahoe because it is the furthest place from the nuclear explosion and is surely safe for life. Tori starts getting jealous and interrupts their conversation. Before she can say anything, she is shocked to see a soldier keeping a zombie caged and treating it like an animal. Ramsey calls Sandy and reminds her they cannot trust anyone at all and shouldn't get attached to anyone. A soldier follows Tori and tells her she cannot enter this area at all, finally leaving her alone when he realizes she only wants to use the bathroom. By chance, she sees a soldier inside who is sick and vomiting, and she begins to suspect her. When she asks what's wrong, she assures her she's fine. When she returns to the room, she notices all the soldiers are sick. She speaks with Johnson and Tom aside, confirming to them that these people are hiding a huge secret. Indeed, they both agree with her. Despite all this, Tom thinks they should ignore it because he wants to leave by any means. A little later, Johnson follows two of them into a strange hallway and is shocked to hear Ramsey talking to one of them about strange cargo they are carrying, confirming that all the soldiers are indeed sick. When he goes and enters the kitchen after them, he discovers they took all the available supplies, leaving no food or drink. The biggest shock is that Victor was helping them. They accidentally spot one of them, grab him, and hand him over to Ramsey. Johnson threatens them, saying he knows the truth and that all the soldiers are infected. Tori arrives and confirms his claim. Sandy is upset when she learns her father was planning to abandon them. Ramsey tries to justify his actions, telling her he was going to take them with him and that they just misunderstood. Tori argues with Victor because he betrayed her. Naturally, he replies with him, saying he wants to get out of here by any means, even if it means sacrificing. As soon as they see Johnson, he pulls a gun from his pocket and they shoot him in every direction, finishing them off in seconds. Tori seizes the opportunity, steals Tom shoots any zombie in front of him, Tori runs to hide in the car. She fights off all the zombies around her, pushing them away by any means necessary. Finally, they find the car they're looking for. After moving, they face another problem. The main gate requires a passcode. Tori is forced to ram the car into it, hoping it breaks so they can pass. Since their plan fails and they find zombies surrounding them, they quickly escape the car and run to hide ahead of them. They keep running until they reach them. In the middle of the night, they hear the sound of an approaching car. They are surprised to find Sandy has returned to them. The car flips over from sheer terror when she finds many zombies surrounding her. She decides to act bravely, grabs her weapon, gets out of the car, and starts killing anyone who tries to get near her until some of them get scared and back away. At that moment, Tom arrives inside a large, massive sphere and manages to take her with him and protect her. They finally return to the restaurant safely. They find Tori standing there, threatening her with a weapon, completely unable to trust her. Sandy explains that she is not infected and that the soldiers weren't infected either. All those symptoms were a result of radiation, nothing more. She assures them that the entire team died because they were attacked by a large group of zombies on their way, and she barely escaped them. She notes that the situation has become much more difficult. The zombies have grown stronger over time, and they are heading this way. Indeed, a little later, the zombies start banging on the doors viciously. Tori is furious with her, blaming her for leading the zombies to their location, then leaves them, going up to the roof to sit alone. Meanwhile, Tom sits talking with Sandy, opening up about his personal life for the first time. He confirms have already arrived, and they are in much greater danger than before. When they go back down, they find Tori forcefully barricading the door, trying to prevent the zombies from entering. They quickly run to help her. She tells them they must use the grenades. Tom runs to turn on the gas in the kitchen. Sandy starts assembling the explosives. Since they only have a minute, Tori grabs the axe and goes to distract the zombies until they are finished. When they try to follow her, they find the zombies have already blocked the path. They are forced to take a completely different route. They enter the main restaurant dining room and find many zombies inside. There is no solution but to pass through them. One of them drags Sandy and prepares to eat her. Tom saves her at the last second. As they go down the stairs, another zombie attacks her and pulls her up by her hair. Tom accidentally kicks her while defending himself without realizing it. She escapes from the zombie with great difficulty, breaking her leg in the process. Tori appears at the right moment, kills the zombie behind them, and saves both their lives. She and Tom argue when she learns of his plan. When he insists on it, she gets even angrier, hits them both, and walks away, leaving them in the garage. She goes outside and starts killing any zombie in her path. She throws the explosive she has in the gate, and it finally opens. Unfortunately, before she can run far, and she explodes along with the zombie. A massive number of zombies arrive, drawn by the noise, and gather around her. Tom and Sandy escape to a safe place before the room explodes. Just in time, they finally escape in it. In the final scene, we see Tori, after having turned, preparing to go after them and take her revenge on them all. The end.
Girl, your tag is sticking out. What? Hold on, before you start your set. What? Your tag is sticking out.
Girl, wait, this looks gay as hell right now.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, let me just get your tag.
That's so mean.
Overwatch, snapshot. Where's he at?
Snapshot, Overwatch, I have him. Terminal B.
Out here gotten a little too comfortable. It's time to run it. Run it until the grass becomes a lawn. Until the hedge is dug and covered. Run it again.
My gun and you're wondering what I'm carrying it in, well, I've got a good answer for you. This right here, Vantage camo holster, as well as the most inconspicuous holster that we make. Right now, you can buy one, get one free. You can still carry it, you find that it's just not that comfortable to carry your normal kind.
So as you can see, more recoil is not a significant amount, but you can definitely feel it. All our shots are significantly easier than 9mm. Now, as the great Paul Harrell said, when the FBI, when they were stepping down to a less powerful round, the big consideration was that the accuracy from these more powerful rounds like 10mm or even 40 was less than lighter recoiling rounds. This is not due to the fact that a heavily recoiling round like the 10mm or the 40 compared to the 9 are less accurate, or that the recoil is affecting where the shot goes. This is actually anticipation and training. So from our high speed, which I'll show you right now, the bullet leaves the barrel far before the recoil actually hits you. What occurs is, in less trained shooters with a heavier recoil, they have a tendency to overcompensate and begin to drive their hand down. This is called a flinch. This causes them to not make accurate shots of those large calibers. So I'll definitely agree with Paul Harrell on that it wasn't that they were less accurate inherently in any way. It was simply a training issue. With all that being said, let's get into the fun part. We're going to test ballistic skeleton with our common defensive rounds, then we'll go. So we're now going to be testing our common defensive rounds. Once we find the one that performs best, we test that on the ballistic dummy. So start off with talk about using these. The first bullet that we're going to be using is going to be a Federal HST. These are very common rounds with law enforcement. It's 180 grain. And it's a hollow point, as you can see here. What that means is, as it enters the flesh, it's going to flower out, make that nice death blossom, providing a lot of damage. Next up is going to be the Spear Gold Dot. This is something that I carried for a very long time. John, you carry these also, don't you? So Spear Gold Dots are another hollow point, a slightly different design, but also a proven performance. Finally, we'll use very channel. whether it be 40 or 90, lighter bullets go much faster. So this total hull point is 95 grains, traveling 1,520 meters per second. This is compared to the 1,100-ish that you're seeing from the 180 grain 40 and West rounds. So we understand that both the Spear and the Federal might be similar in performance, and that there are probably rounds out there that are pushing plus B categories that can offer different performance. But from what we've seen typically, that I use professionally, is the Spear and the Federal. These are typical defensive rounds to use. Obviously, if you use a plus B plus, you're going to get different performance. We're trying to show you what's typical performance of the 40 Smith and Wesson. We also have the counterparts to that in 9mm to show the difference in ballistic performance. With all that being said, talk is very cheap and most expensive. We start off with Federal HST. History. Did you study these things in school? Probably not to the extent that you should have. Now this video is brought to you by Hillsdale College. Now, Hillsdale College is offering over 40 free online courses, from the works of C.S. Lewis to the Book of Genesis to the U.S. Constitution, absolutely free at hillsdale.edu/Garand. Time changes, but great facts about life do not. Take this time, make a New Year's resolution to study some of these very important facets of life and increase the amount of knowledge that you have. Now, personally, I am, of course, studying the rise and fall of the Roman Republic, because there's nothing more that I love about history. Anything from the ancient tenets that made the Republic so successful, as well as the tyrannies that led to the downfall of the Roman Republic. I, like many other guys, I'm obsessed with the Roman Republic, so I've been really enjoying the course. So go right now to hillsdale.edu/Garand. It is completely free, no cost to you. Go learn something. Thank you so much. Let's get back to excellent slow motion footage. Okay, Federal HST 180 grain 40 Smith & Wesson first gel box test. All right, Christian. 3, 2, 1, action. All right, don't worry about the noise coming out of the camera, but we have our first test done. Excellent performance from the HST, very proven, over 12 inches of penetration, and excellent temporary cavity, which is that first cavity you saw as it opened up, and then we have a great permanent cavity, that nice 10mm hole /40. So it's looking quite good. Let's go ahead, let's compare that directly with the 9mm HST. Now, we are shooting at 3 yards. This is a typical engagement distance that the FBI is noted for a handgun. This is our pretty real, true to life. What do you think about that, John?
Yeah, pretty reasonable.
Thank you for your commentary, John. Very helpful. 3, 2, 1, action!
Check if someone's spying on you. Actually, it's pretty simple. If you notice any of these signs, it's time to check your phone. Here's what to look for. Your phone overheats, or the battery drains quicker than usual. Your phone is slower than usual. You notice suspicious apps or pop-ups. If you've noticed any of these, here's what you need to do. Step 1, install the Malwarebytes app from the App Store. Step 2, run a free security scan that finds and removes any spyware, malware, or hidden viruses. Malwarebytes is award-winning and trusted by millions. It's also incredibly easy to use and one of the most effective security apps out there. Install Malwarebytes today and keep your phone safe from hackers.
Now, this is the 40 HSC that we cut out. You can see how beautiful those pedals are. That is excellent performance. You can see how sharp that is. That's just going to be shredding through all the delicate tissues of the body, and it opens up to larger than what the typical diameter of that round is. So the 40 S&W performance, excellent. Let's go ahead and check the 9.
So pretty similar performance between both the 40 and the 9. Now, the 40 100% had an edge. There is better wound cavitation, better temporary cavity. However, the cost, as we've talked about, the snappier recoil, less rounds. So far in my mind, I would be preferring the 9 right now. But let's test the other rounds we have. What are your thoughts, John?
So, college on the left and ready to settle down on the right. As you can see, 40 cal, it definitely did do a little bit better. This is why we don't like it nice, by the way. But generally speaking, I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze. I would rather have a little bit less energy on target, but for much better capacity, less recoil, and almost the same terminal ballistics. Not quite, but almost.
Maya celebrates with her husband Jamie after finding out she's pregnant, as they've been eager to start a family of their own. However, everything changes when Maeve, Jamie's grandmother, is found lifeless in front of her house. Because she was very close to her grandson, the elderly woman left her home to him as an inheritance. So, the couple moves into the country house, since from now on, they'll have a much cozier home to live in once they have a child. Upon meeting the couple, Nia thanks them for coming and tells them she has something peculiar to show them. The woman reveals that during her lifetime, Maeve used to leave pieces of meat in a path near her garden to please the creatures living there. In addition, Nia explains that those beings were known as redcaps, and although she had always fed them kindly, Maeve eventually stopped this practice, as over time, she began to devote her time to her own family. However, her husband eventually passed away from pneumonia, along with the couple's son, and the elderly woman began to blame herself for what happened, as she believed the creatures were responsible for it all. So, Nia asks Maya and Jamie to never stop feeding the redcaps, or else they'll be in big trouble. Although they don't believe any of it, the couple promises to do so out of respect for Maeve, and after thanking her for her help, they say goodbye. Hours later, Maya and Jamie fix up and decorate the house just the way they want, and they grow happier and happier with their new home. The next day, the couple goes shopping in a town near their home, where the shop owner tells them about the good times he had with Maeve, since they were close friends. Feeling happy to know that his late friend's home will continue to be well cared for, the shopkeeper tells them they don't have to pay for their purchases this time, and says this will be his welcome gift to them. Later, the couple travels to the area where Nia works, and before they meet her, they pass by a trailer, where they are startled by a rabid dog. To avoid causing any more commotion, they both decide to walk away, and don't even notice they're being watched by the resident, who seems to be acting strangely. After that, the couple goes to the bar where Nia works as a waitress, and although they're stared at for a few seconds, the locals welcome them with a warm reaction. So, Maya and Jamie sit down to talk with an older man who was there, but since he's already had too much to drink, the old man ends up acting like a lunatic and gets kicked out of the bar. Trying to prevent the couple from feeling embarrassed after that scene, Nia starts to then explains that the redcaps are extremely dangerous if they aren't fed, and begs Maya to let her handle it herself, saying she'll be able to deal with them every morning, and the couple won't even notice they're in the garden. However, Maya rejects the idea and reveals that she and her husband were attacked by criminals when they lived in the big city, explaining that from now on, she wants to feel completely safe in her new home. So that Nia won't be so worried, Maya promises she'll feed the creatures every day, and, relieved, she thanks her friend for her understanding.
Was doing the first backyard barbecue of this season today, but I still needed a few things to pull it all together, and because I love Dollar General, I'm partnering with them again to grab a few left.
Standing nearby, the drunk old man returns home with his dog, who runs excitedly through the streets, causing him to lose sight of his owner. Wanting to find his pet, the man walks toward the forest while calling for the dog, when he comes across a child crying alone. Concerned, the old man approaches to see if the child is okay, but it was actually a trap, and the man ends up being attacked by the girl. The next morning, Maya and Jamie wake up to voices coming from the kitchen and go to check what it is, relieved to find that the supposed intruders were just a family of local builders who had come to carry out the more complex repairs on the house. After introducing his family to the couple, Mr. Whalen tells them they needn't worry about their presence and assures them they'll try to fix all the issues as soon as possible. However, the behavior of those people ends up catching Maya's attention, and she realizes that something doesn't seem right. Despite this, the couple goes out to do some shopping, while Mr. Whalen's sons continue with their work. The problem is that Killian, one of the builder children, begins acting even stranger, even going so far as to steal some belongings from the house. Meanwhile, Maya and Jamie visit Maeve's grave, accompanied by the town priest, who asks if this will be the couple's first child. Maya then reveals that many years ago, she had a relationship with another man, and thanks to her ex-boyfriend's terrible behavior, she ended up losing her baby. Despite this, she knew it had been for the best, because if the child had been born, it would have suffered a miserable life with a bad father. Even though he cannot approve of Maya's actions, the priest says he hopes she finds peace in her current life, and as a thank you for the house, Jamie places a bouquet of flowers on Maeve's grave. Curious to know how the bodies are placed there, Jamie asks the priest about it, who replies that the elderly woman was buried right next to her husband, while the family's child was represented by a stone. Upon hearing this, Maya is confused and asks why they didn't bury the baby's body alongside her parents. The priest then reveals that the child's body was never found, and the woman asks if she really perished of pneumonia, as Nia had said. However, the priest does not confirm this information, and the mystery of Maeve's perishment begins to intrigue the couple. Hours later, Maya goes to meet Nia, who tells her about the recent disappearance of Rory, the drunk old man from the bar. Despite this situation, the woman asks them not to worry and invites them to have tea at her bar so they can shelter from the rain. Excited, Jamie heads to the car so they can drive to the location, but Maya decides to talk alone with the elderly woman and asks about the missing body of Maeve's daughter. Nia reveals that, in an attempt to save her husband from the illness, Maeve made a deal with the Redcaps. They would take her baby in exchange for curing her husband. Refusing to believe anything, Maya asks if the old woman might have gone mad, and because of that, attacked her own son. Outraged, Nia insists that Maeve would never do such a thing, as she loved that baby more than anything else in her life. Soon after, the old woman explains that her late friend was doing something good for everyone, since she was the only one keeping those creatures away from the human world. After that, the couple drives back home, where they encounter Mr. Whalen's sons, who start bothering them. While Jamie deals with a pair of delinquent siblings, Maya goes to the bathroom and screams in fright when she sees Ion, the oldest son, spying on her through the window. Later, the couple talks to Mr. Whalen about what happened, and after apologizing for the trio's behavior, he promises he'll talk to them. This situation infuriates Jamie, and upon entering the house, he goes to train with his punching bag, while Maya goes outside, where she sets out a plate of meat to feed the Redcaps in the garden. However, before she walks away, she hears the door leading to the forest opening, and when she checks the plate again, she notices the food has already disappeared. The next morning, another incident occurs involving Mr. Whalen's deranged children, who smash one of the second-floor windows, nearly injuring the woman. Furious at all this, Jamie confronts the trio, telling them they're nothing but criminals, and trying to calm the situation. Where after a few minutes of searching, the woman comes across Rory's little dog, who asks her to follow him. Thanks to this, Maya arrives at a more sinister part of the forest, where she finds a sort of hut made of stone bricks. Curious, the woman crosses the threshold, and upon encountering a huge spiral staircase, she gives up on following the dog, who returns to the surface to leave the area. Because of the animal's great speed, Maya ends up losing sight of him, and while searching for him, she comes across Ion standing in the middle of the forest. Wanting to know what the man is doing there, the woman approaches and realizes that Ion is resting after having been beaten even more by his father. Realizing how much Ion is suffering because of his family of delinquents, Maya tries to talk to him, but things get out of hand, and he decides to hug her, saying he has strong feelings for her. His strength causes her to try to pull away. Because of this, they both end up falling to the ground, and a few minutes later, Maya shows up at her house, calling Jamie to come with her because she has something to show him. Although confused, the man decides to accompany his wife, and when they arrive in the forest, she reveals what happened with Ion, saying that the man had tried to attack her. However, before Jamie is completely driven mad by rage, she explains that she managed to escape because, after hitting him with a painful kick, she was rescued by a group of creatures. Upon hearing this, Jamie feels lost and doesn't believe his wife's words, leaving Maya extremely irritated. The man then states that since the night they were attacked in town by the criminals, things have never been the same, and he won't let that happen again. After this argument, Jamie and this will provide her with sufficient proof of these beings' existence. Curious about the object left with her, Maya checks the contents of the bag, terrified to realize that it is none other than Ion's head. Sometime later, Jamie wants back home, and upon reuniting with her husband, Maya rushes to show him everything that happened. Upon seeing Ion's head in the bag, the man is extremely frightened, and the woman tries to show him the photos she took of the Redcaps, but it doesn't seem to have been captured by the cell phone camera. Soon after, the couple notices that Mr. Whalen has come with his two children to confront them, since they were the last to see Ion walking alone in the area. Trying to calm the situation, Jamie talks to the man through the door and insists they have nothing to do with the man's disappearance. However, Mr. Whalen doesn't believe this, and to scare off the family of delinquents, Jamie says he's calling the police. Upon hearing this, the criminal's father has a plan and pretends to have given up on the confrontation, saying they'll leave. At the same time, Killian and Esling spread out to try to break into the house, and realizing the situation has become dangerous, Maya decides to leave so she can protect herself and her baby. Quickly, the woman runs to the top floor and climbs down the roof of the house, where she comes face to face with Esling. Startled, Maya drops the bag, and upon realizing that it contains her brother's head, she rushes to warn her family. Seizing her chance, Maya runs toward the door leading to the Redcaps' territory, while Jamie turns on his laptop to contact the authorities, since their phones don't seem to be working. As soon as he discovers what they've done to his son, Mr. Whalen teams up with Esling to break into the house through the back door, using an explosive bottle to start a fire throughout the place. Desperate, Jamie runs to take cover and uses a bookcase to block the door to one of the rooms, but when he remembers that Maya might still be on the second floor, he rushes to help her. Shortly after, the man blocks the staircase with some furniture, but as soon as he locks himself in the room, he is surprised by Killian, and no matter how hard he tries to fight, Jamie is easily overpowered by him. With the man defeated and the house being destroyed by flames, Lord Wellens walks toward his enemy and orders him to reveal where the rest of his son's body is. Jamie then says he had nothing to do with any of it and explains that the Redcaps were the ones truly responsible for the attack on Ion. However, the criminals do not believe the man's words, and Lord Wellens orders him to reveal where his wife is, as he believes she must be the real culprit behind this whole case.
Monopoly, I challenge ye to a duel. Where might one duel to?
Meanwhile, Maya runs to the Redcaps' stone hut in the middle of the forest, and to convince them to help her, she promises to give them anything they desire if they can save her husband's life. Soon after, the woman returns home, where she is surprised by Esling, who alerts her father that she has found her. Without wasting any time, the criminal attacks the woman, and Lord Wellens asks his son to eliminate Jamie, while he will handle the situation with Maya. However, before they can do so, the men are surprised by one of the Redcaps, who leaps to strike Killian in the back with several blows from a blade. Quickly, Lord Wellens strikes the creature with a wooden club, and after knocking it out, the men approach to figure out what that thing is. At that moment, Killian is struck by a dagger thrown by yet another Redcap, who hits him from the roof, while the other uses his last ounce of strength to hurl his knife at the old man. Frightened, Mr. Wellens yells for his son to grab the gun from his van, and destroys the creature with his bat. Outside, Esling is surprised by a group of Redcaps, who, after pulling the madwoman off Maya, begin to carry out all sorts of attacks on her body. At the same time, Killian, who was running toward the van, comes face to face with one of the creatures as it opens the front door, and dashes to hide in one of the rooms, managing to strike his target with a surprise attack. Seeking revenge against those creatures, Killian begins to swing his blade at the creature's head, but the rest of the pack won't let him get away with it, and they surround the criminals, attacking together. Meanwhile, the Redcaps who saved Maya continue to attack Esling, reveling in the criminal's suffering as she loses her strength before she can escape. Realizing he is alone in this situation, Mr. Whalen grabs his gun from the trunk, just as Killian appears behind him. Wanting to leave that place alone, the man locks himself in the vehicle, but before he can escape, he is surprised by one of the furious goblins, who attacks him in the neck. Quickly, Mr. Whalen smashes the car window to rescue his son, but it is already too late, and the criminal loses his life in his father's arms, who tries to apologize for the way he raised his lunatic children. At that moment, Jamie, who had been hiding under the bed, runs outside, where he comes face to face with the Redcaps tearing apart Esling's body, and on impulse, he strikes one of them with a frying pan. However, the creature shows no hostility, and realizing they've come to help him, the man runs to his wife, who is going into labor. At the same time, Mr. Wellens appears with his gun and eliminates one of the Redcaps, causing the rest to flee in fear of the gunfight. Noticing that his daughter has also been eliminated by those monsters, the criminal decides to take his revenge and approaches the couple, preparing to eliminate them both with his gun. Wanting to prevent his wife from being hurt again, Jamie decides to confront the criminal, challenging him to a one-on-one fight. However, the man in the chest, who falls to the ground. Soon after, the deranged criminal approaches to finish off Maya, but he is stopped by the little dog, who bites his arm, causing him to drop his gun. Quickly, Maya crawls toward the rifle, and even after managing to scare the dog away, the man is ultimately finished off with a well-aimed shot. With the family of criminals eliminated, the couple embraces, lying on the floor, and recovers while the Redcaps carry the bodies of the deceased to a grand celebratory feast. A few minutes later, Jamie clears a section of the living room to help Maya give birth, since they no longer have time to get to a hospital. Despite the pain, Maya is able to give birth, and Jamie embraces his wife as they both cry with relief, for their son was born unharmed, even after all that fighting. A few days later, the couple recovers from their injuries, and while his wife rests, Jamie tidies up the house and makes the necessary repairs, putting on his headphones to focus on the tasks at hand. At that moment, Maya notices that her son has disappeared, and when she looks out the window, she sees the Redcaps carrying the baby toward the forest. Desperate, the woman screams for her husband to help her, but Jamie can't hear her, so she decides to set off alone toward the stone hut. While exploring the area, Maya comes across an extremely old and frail woman, and after observing her clothing, she realizes that this is none other than Maeve's daughter. Realizing that a human captured by the creature serves as a sort of king, and that the Redcaps are trying to use her son as their next leader, the woman flies into a rage and attacks one of the ferocious goblins with a knife. Desperate, the other monsters scream for Maya not to do this, but the woman refuses to abandon her son and runs toward the old woman, gouging out her eyes with her own hands. As a result, Maeve's daughter loses her life, and as she turns around, Maya notices that the Redcaps are bowing before her, as if she were the new queen. Minutes later, Jamie, who has noticed his family's disappearance, finds the baby resting in the living room and goes outside to look for his wife. In doing so, the man comes face to face with Maya being worshipped by the Redcaps surrounding her, as she pours a blood-filled skull over her head, initiating a sort of ritual that turns the sky red. With that, the monsters dance and scream along with the dog, celebrating the emergence of their newest Redcap mother, the leader who will guide them for another generation. Despite how utterly mad all of this seems, the couple decides to embrace their new life among these beings, and they feel happy knowing that from now on, the world will work at their command. So what did you think of this movie? Leave it in the comments below. And if you liked the video, like and subscribe for more movie recaps. See you next time.
The movie begins with something abnormal approaching Earth at a surprising speed. Meanwhile, on solid ground, a hunter named Wolf checks his traps and realizes he has managed to take down a deer, quickly putting it in the truck. While examining the animal, a strong shockwave from the sky makes him lose his balance. An unidentified object falls nearby, raising a huge cloud of dust. His dog starts barking incessantly, and driven by curiosity, Wolf decides to check the crash site. The dog jumps out of the car and runs towards the crater, but soon Wolf hears the animal whimpering from inside the hole. The dog then comes running out, terrified, while Wolf, intrigued, approaches. A fierce growl echoes from the hole, making Wolf tremble with fear. He grabs his gun and aims at the crater, and a second, even more intense growl echoes from the depths, causing him to shake completely. In the background, we hear the sound of gunshots as the dog runs desperately away. The next day, we meet a young girl named Renee, who loves animals and is saying goodbye to her lizard, which has just died. At home, we find her mother Linda, and Renee scolds her for forgetting to take her to the pet store. Linda seems unwell, and Renee decides to leave her alone. Their conversation is soon interrupted by Renee's stepfather, Chase, whom Renee clearly dislikes. Annoyed by the man's jabs, she decides to leave for school early. Outside, upon seeing Chase's car, she plans to take revenge by scratching it. At school, Renee doesn't seem to enjoy the environment and doesn't have many friends. During recess, her only company is a boy named Paul, who also likes animals and tries to...
You all are like lambs to a slaughter, and I'm the butcher.
He's late, sending audio messages until Linda finally shows up. A trio of friends laughs at the car and films Renee getting into it. Curious about the delay, Renee hears that her mother had a difficult morning. She suggests that Linda talk to the doctor about taking some medicine, but her mother assures her that her medication is fine. Renee notices her mother is acting strangely and asks if they fought again, but Linda requests that she drop it. At home, Renee goes to feed her pet snake, but the animal refuses to eat. She tries playing music to cheer it up, but gives up. And tries to create confusion, but Linda asks everyone to keep the night calm. Then he complains that the microwave has a strange smell, and Renee reveals that she used it to heat her pet's food, which makes Chase furious. He argues with her, calls her disgusting, and when she retorts, she throws salad in his face. Unable to react, Renee leaves the room. Is chained to Wolf's car. The monster runs wildly back and forth, trying to break free, while Renee remains motionless. He replies that yes, but the camera belongs to his mother. Renee says it will only be for one day. He refuses, and states that usually when his grandfather wants a favor, he gives him some money in exchange. Renee makes a deal and promises to do his English essay in exchange for the camera. Paul thinks it's a good deal and agrees. When she arrives home, the couple is waiting for her to have a talk. Chase informs her that he is trying to change and has joined a support group to stop drinking, and asks for the girl's cooperation in this process. Renee, outraged, responds that he was drunk 24 hours ago. Chase says that she is straying from the subject and claims that this is for Linda's good. He asks her to get along so that her mother will be happy. He leaves the room, and Linda asks her to be calm as he is trying to change. Renee says that he didn't even apologize for the previous night and goes to her room. In her room, she makes a list of what she needs to take to return to the monster. She waits for everyone to be asleep to sneak out, but first, she grabs Chase's car keys. We find out that the girl wanted to take the revolver that the man has in his car. She also...
What range you got on it? 105 yards. That's 2.25 mil dots. Okay. Any wind call? Nope, hold that on. So I got the 22 right back there. And I'm in the woods today. We're gonna go after a groundhog. Let's go check out this hole right up here. Oh yeah. Kind of see his trail coming out too. Alright, I'm 37 yards away from the hole over there. Pretty easy shot for the 22. I got it sighted in at 50. Last night, I shot a 1/4-inch group with this at 50 yards. And that's because I have a better scope on here. This is a different scope. This is a Arkin 6 to 24. And it's for...
Time to your work. Greg? Time to your work.
First focal plane.
Your clothes?
Which I kind of like now. I used to not like first focal plane at all, but after using this thing a little bit, I think I might. These things expanded like 3 times bigger than the size they were right now. Standard velocity is just, they stayed the same size and didn't even deform at all. Didn't even mushroom it.
The story kicks off in the absolute coldest territory on Earth, the Arctic, where global warming is violently melting the ancient ice sheets. Desperate for a solution, a renowned scientist named Dr. David Krupin is stationed on the ice with his elite research team, but they have absolutely zero clue that a single microscopic oversight is about to unlock a lethal trap for the entire human race. While scouting the sub-zero wasteland, Dr. David spots a colossal polar bear through his binoculars, viciously tearing into some raw meat. Sensing something is deeply wrong with the apex predator's behavior, he orders his colleague, Bart, to neutralize the animal. Bart locks and loads a tranquilizer rifle, firing a dart straight into the bear's thick hide. Instead of dropping, the massive grizzly goes into an absolute frenzy, turning around and charging straight at the terrified scientists at terrifying Evelyn's side, covering every inch of exposed skin for protection. Evelyn cautiously steps into the dark, infested lab. She moves like a ghost, keeping her footsteps completely silent until she reaches Jane's body and pries the video camera from her corpse. But the second she turns around, the eerie silence shatters. Thousands of terrified Federico block the exit, refusing as he's about to squeeze. An absolute bombshell twist drops from behind as an unexpected figure walks through the door. Just as Federico is about to pull the trigger and blow Evelyn away, a blistering gunshot tears through the hallway from behind. Turning around, Galen and Evelyn are completely paralyzed with shock. Standing in the shadows is Dr. David. Though he is heavily bleeding and battered from the initial camp ambush, he is very much alive. Without a shred of hesitation, David unloads on Federico, permanently putting an end to the psycho's murderous rampage. Evelyn lets out a massive sigh of relief, instantly rushing over to steady her wounded father. Thinking he is still on their side, she frantically catches him up to the biological horror, explaining that the only way to save humanity is to completely incinerate the entire research station and burn the parasites to ash. David silently nods his head in agreement, as Evelyn and Galen immediately shift into high gear to rig the station for destruction. A thought loops in Evelyn's mind. She remembers her father's videotape sitting in the playback deck. Driven to uncover the full truth, she boots up the monitor and hits play, and the bombshell revelation that flashes on screen causes the floor to completely drop out from beneath her. On the tape, Dr. David was delivering an eco-terrorist manifesto, so unhinged it would turn your blood to ice. He explains his radical philosophy. The human race is a cancer to Earth, and global warming is systematically destroying the planet. When he discovered the prehistoric parasites frozen in the ice, he witnessed how viciously and efficiently they could wipe out human hosts. David realized that if these bugs were unleashed onto the world, humanity would be eradicated. The metal rails for dear life. He screams at the top of his lungs for the pilot to abort, but his voice is completely swallowed by the deafening roar of the rotors. His grip fails, and he plummets straight down into the unforgiving ice. With her father on the verge of escaping, Evelyn realized she had only one card left to play to save the world. With trembling hands, she lifts a high-caliber rifle, steps onto the snowy platform, and bravely unloads a barrage of bullets straight into the ascending helicopter. The rounds shred the engine components, causing the chopper to violently lose balance. Spinning completely out of control, the helicopter crashes directly back into the primary research facility. A colossal, fiery explosion erupts, completely swallowing the helicopter, Dr. David, and millions of scuttling parasites in a massive wall of fire, burning them to absolute ash. The threat was neutralized, but the cost was devastating. Shuffling through the burning debris, Evelyn reaches Galen's body, but it was already too late. He had drawn his final breath. Having lost her father, her friends, and her entire squad, a completely hollow Evelyn crawls inside a discarded, defunct helicopter cabin and passes out from the sheer exhaustion. The next day, a second recovery team touches down at the scorched outpost. Navigating the wreckage, they find Evelyn alive, stabilize her on a stretcher, and evacuate her back to civilization. Once she recovers in a secure city hospital, Evelyn sounds the ultimate alarm, broadcasting the horrific tragedy of the Arctic outpost and her father's twisted manifesto to the entire world, to wake humanity up to the dangers of global warming. It feels like the nightmare is finally over, but the ultimate spine-chilling twist was hiding right in the final frames. Cut to a few years later, deep inside a dense, lush mainland forest, a hunter pulls his truck into a clearing for a routine tracking trip, letting his pet dog run loose ahead of him. Sniffing through the brush, the dog stumbles upon the fresh carcass of a dead bird and begins rehabilitating.
Don't fire till you see the whites of their eyes!
At first, this looks like the story of a normal teenage boy living a simple life. But one strange night changes everything, and soon, he finds himself trapped in a dark world full of dangerous secrets and terrifying creatures. The story begins in a very shocking way. We see Steve standing at a funeral, saying goodbye to his best friend, Darren. But strangely...
There!
This might well be nature's ultimate double agent. To look at their name and habits, oxpeckers seem like the most dedicated cleaners of the savannah. They perch gracefully on the backs of rhinos or buffalo, using their sharp beaks to meticulously pick off ticks and flies hiding within the folds of thick skin. It is a classic, celebrated example of symbiosis. The host is relieved of the torment of itching, while the birds enjoy a hearty meal. Yet this seemingly perfect, mutually beneficial relationship can sometimes be a carefully orchestrated ruse. Once the parasites have been cleared away, these docile-looking birds reveal a greedy side. They turn to pecking at scabs on the host's skin, or even deliberately tearing open small wounds to feed on the oozing blood. At this point, towering African buffalo, hippos, and
If you dumped out a lava lamp and poured in real lava, the glass would just instantly shatter. Instead, you would need to carve the jar out of solid sapphire just to withstand the heat.
You got time for God?
Oh, no.
500 cigarettes.
This woman living alone got 3 German Shepherds to help her feel safe after her ex kept showing up uninvited at night. The dogs quickly formed their own routine. The biggest one stayed close by her side, while the other 2 guarded the door, always alert. At night, they took positions. One on the bed, one underneath, and one by the window. One evening, loud knocking suddenly echoed from downstairs. All 3 rushed toward the stairs, ready to protect. But just as quickly as it started, the noise stopped. Sensing something was off, one dog stayed on guard while the others checked on their owner. Even through the night, they took turns staying awake, watching and listening for anything unusual. By morning, their owner rested peacefully, thanks to the 3 loyal protectors who never let their guard down.
Choose your hero.
Baby, to control and I'ma feed you to the wolves when you get nasty back at me. Oh, baby, don't distract me. I'm a goner. I lost the like. Why the hell you wanna play me that way? You're bad, babe. You double-faced entendre like goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
Please subscribe.
Preschool has that annoying-ass girl group who thinks they're the shit, and every boy likes them. Like bro. They're always looking for attention like, OMG, everyone is staring at us. Yeah, we're staring because you sound like 3 fucking malfunctioned car alarms fighting each other. And then one of them says the most fuck...
This is a freshly severed alien spine. The full...
Okay, let's say you want to start building credit and you need a credit card to do that. Where do you go? Credit card.
Yeah, the babe does make it more romantic. Oh, she finna take that straight to the pawn shop. They met at a family reunion. They ain't never separated since. It's cringy up in here. You're not gonna make it through the whole video. Butthole.
And lips are natural. It's just the detox. When you cut out gluten, they swell with feminine energy.
There's no. The suction's probably actually crazy though, but
You just gotta keep living, man.
Oh, he trying to get it right. My boy, find my boy on Tinder, ladies. Sandals like that, make sure you bring birth control. When your girl says, I like yours, the big one's hurt, she's talking about this guy. Yeah, the babe does make it more romantic. Oh, she finna take that straight to the pawn shop. She already does crack. He's about to. They met at a family reunion. They ain't never separated since. I think he's being electrocuted. Oh, no? Ladies, he vibrates. Ugh, you know it's tight. Nah, the tongue is long as hell, though. Don't try and get on whatever the this is.
I'm not saying anything at all. There's my green thumb right there. There's my green thumb right there.
She uses the whole thing one time. How much to eat the whole thing?
Whoa, 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 whoa! Shit to the mouth is insane.
Nowadays, if I'm being super... What is bro training for? I got no funny... Ladies, be honest. If you had this right now in your face, how many of you squirt? Don't lie. I know this is somebody's pack. This is bro training for? I got no fucking...
My phone on the car, check in with me, and do your job. Lays in the bed, and give me head.
Oh, she's so crazy at work. She just be messing around all the time. Mom, I want to learn martial arts. Sorry to tell you, brother, that is not your mother. We are going to be watching the most unwatchable, unbearable... Bro, the dog is like, what the f... The dog is like, stop touching me. Save the dog. Help! I know she's very happy he did this on the sidewalk. You know what would actually be the craziest thing right now? A bicyclist. You know he won't give a fuck. Bro, fixing to move! Why did I say it like that? Move! If I'm a parent, you're wrong if you don't think I'm paying somebody to bully my kid at school. He's gonna do that at school, I'll be like, the second he does that at school, punch him in the fucking throat. No. Something's not right. Why is this like a Rip Anna de Armas? No one's talking shit because they know she's gonna beat him up. He's like, I want to say something so bad but she might beat me up. Well, you know what happens when dogs bite? They get put the fuck down. Bitch, you're hurting the floor. She's cracking the foundation! What?
You think that's funny? Imagine that in reverse.
Jasmine and Princess Leia are doing steroids. Oh, half in because swimming and shit. Okay, no, that makes sense. She's a siren. She just be working. Girl, wake up, Bottom's. When you're working but escaping work at the same time, this is how people were working during COVID. Oh, God. Why does it just stop super hard? Someone's gonna get severely hurt. I can't wait. Do it! Oh. He's gone. Hey, he landed on his back. Wow. Physics. I mean, that's pretty cool. I hate those so much. Is it gay that I laughed at that? I don't know. I think we're all gay then. Bro, I feel bad for the proposal and the wedding stuff. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel terrible. I look forward to getting married to you. All the presents. What a dumbass. She's marrying a dumbass. Okay, calm down, Becky. Let me know down below in the comments how far you guys made it before you gave up and stopped watching the video. Also, if you guys enjoyed this content, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you guys dislike the video, go ahead and hit the dislike button. But let me know down below in the comments how I can improve. My Mexican side came out. You about to start jumping over shit or what?
No way, no puede ser, way. No manches. Chinga su madre, I love her away.
No hablo inglés. You found a page to watch people with zero aura. Let me know down below in the comments which video had the least amount of aura. If that shit goes back in the ice, you better not put it in my drink. Why are you just busting shit? Imagine paying them Imagine walking in and just seeing your employees punching you in the eye and just punching them.
Why is it so goddamn hot in this fucking ass house? How long have you been in this party? Oh. Welcome to the afternoon. Whatever you do not invite what's his face. Well, I said, whatever you do not invite what's his face. Dad or Joseph. Hello? Do not invite Dad or Joseph. I'm tired of hearing the cussing. Bro, I was watching a YouTube video and I didn't know it sent to you. Oh, do you like my death trap? What did you thought it was? Oh, follow me. I got some. Okay, move. Lightning. Just run around. Run around. See, you don't cuss, but you know what I mean. He cusses a lot. He cusses. You don't cuss like that. I can't stand people cussing like that. Oh, anyways, follow me. I got something to show you. No, that's the lava thing. That thing. I was tired of fucking getting killed by lava. Alright, come up here. The heaven stills. Far. Run, first run! What's his name? Alright, up here? He's been inviting me too. I doesn't know it. I blocked his ass. You coming up? You coming upstairs? Yeah. Hey, if you're scared of heights, don't look down here. Look at this view. I'm going inside. Come inside. Come inside. Come inside. Come inside. Get in that corner. You're gonna get shot. Oh. Come here often? I think everybody else is getting shot to death, and I mean, you're just sitting up here watching. So, you want to play a different game? Hello? Hello? Oh, shit. Where did I fall off? I'm a dumbass. You want to play some Border Patrol? Border Patrol! Yeah. That's fucking weird. Tell me. What the fuck? Okay, Johnny. Boom, 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 boom. What the fuck is that? It's a fucking pedophile van. I'm joining FBI. Oh wait, I forgot my canine. My canine! It's kind of funny because I have a little dog in real life. Well, I have 2 dogs. They're both German shepherds. Me, 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 me. Thanks, getting robbed. Get him, Dougie. I'm dead. I'm dead! They're robbing the bank. They're robbing the bank, my dude. Are you civilian or... Cheating! Where you at? Yo, Green Reaper, where you at? Did he put C4 down? You know he's gonna raid you. The military show. The military. He got a bad guy on top of the roof. Shit, I'm getting shot. I need help, I think. Fuck, sucker. I need your help. At bank. Are you at? Are we in the same server? Nope. I was in the wrong server. Oh, that was funny as shit. Did you ever find out if you can change the name of the dogs? No, I don't think you can. I think once you have the name, I think you have the name. Did they put some cop lights on the military truck? That would be awesome. When your friend said that he joined you, but he actually didn't join you. Pull out the machine. My game's lagging. Let me reset my game. I don't know why it does. Stupid shit.